Caber Night. Maybe I should try this. I love Demo Night. I gotta try this. I have to. Generic intro into theduckgoesmoo. We're back with some more Bad Weapon Academy. Today we have the Ullapool Caber. I don't even know what this is. I don't think I've ever seen anybody use this thing before. I didn't know it even existed. So I must be that bad. I have no idea what to expect with this one. You all have shown so much support for these videos, so thank you for that. You want to check out my last one, which was the Liberty Launcher. I'll leave it right up there. I'll also link that below in the description. I'll also be able to place my channel, but all of my other Team Fortress 2 videos. Also have a gaming channel where I play Team Fortress 2 on it. Haven't uploaded there in a couple weeks just because I've been kind of like taking a little bit of a break before I start streaming Team Fortress 2 and all the time. And oh god, I'm so excited for what the future holds. So I hope you stay around and stay tuned for bigger and better things to come. But thank you so much for clicking on these videos, and thank you for leaving comments and subscribing and liking the videos. I read every comment, so leave some down below. I hope you're having a great day. I hope I can make it better. Let's go ahead and jump on into the Ullapool Caber. I have no idea how this is called. I don't know what it is. I'm guessing it's a soldier weapon, and I just have no idea what it is. I've never seen it before. It looks like a grenade. Alright.
I love the
Bad Weapon Academy other videos. Yes, I also have patrons. Shout out to my patrons. They get the videos a day early. Wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for them. Wait, it's not a soldier weapon? It's a demo man weapon? Oh. He just glitched through the floor. Is it an actual grenade or is it a melee weapon? Oh, wait, it actually explodes. What? It's a... What? No. Big boner. The government's not allowed. What? So, it's a melee weapon that explodes.
Kablooey!
That's... Does it have to be behind them? Is it like a backstab in CSGO?
Welcome to
Why
Bad
would
Weapon
anybody
Academy,
use it for a sword?
where we take a look at the worst weapons
love
PS2
Demo
has
Night.
to offer, and I show you how to best utilize them. You know, we've taken a look at a few weapons so far, and while none of them are the best in their arsenal, I don't feel we've really crossed the line into a full-on terrible weapon yet. They've mostly been mediocre or underwhelming. Let's change that today with the punished meme weapon of years gone by.
Oh.
Ullapool Caber. Oh, Caber. It feels like a lifetime ago when we would sticky jump over to the two fort battlements and one-shot the oblivious snipers on the enemy team.
Oh, does it not one-shot anymore?
Ever since Gunmetal in 2015, we've drifted further and further apart, and things just haven't been the same. The description reads that a sober person would throw it, but now the sad reality is that a sober person would throw it in the dumpster. That dumpster would then explode.
Oh my god, Nostalgia Critic! I read these videos as well. I bet you do this right now.
In its heyday.
Check those out.
It was almost always a sniper terrorizer, used in conjunction with the sticky jumper. However, it also had the same effect on medics, which is a big problem for competitive. It basically meant that a demo could sticky jump to mid for free because the sticky jumper gives the class with 200 plus damage primaries free instantaneous across the map mobility, and somehow that wasn't the weapon that got nerfed into the ground. And they could one-shot the med at minimal cost because even if he died, trading a demo for a med is worth it every single time to give your med uber advantage, essentially forcing both demos to do the same thing. When Valve came around to nerf it for this reason in Gunmetal, they gave it the old Valve treatment and made it nearly unusable. And this is what we have today, so let's look at some stats. The stats of the Caber are kind of weird in that they aren't exactly listed on the weapon's description, and there's quite a few things missing. Essentially, when you hit an enemy with the Caber, it'll explode, damaging your target, your enemies around them, and yourself. The explosion also has a small ramp-up effect similar to the rocket launcher. It doesn't really come into play too often, since unless you miss your enemy completely and hit the wall next to them or the ground, you'll be doing full ramp-up as you're right in their face.
But you can't throw it, right?
Once you hit them, the base melee damage and the explosion damage are counted as one hit, combining the 55 base damage with the 80 explosion
and then
damage,
it's just
assuming you got full ramp-up, giving you a 123 damage hit, just shy of killing light classes. You'll only be able to consistently one-shot Sandman scouts, kunai spies, and big earner spies with this thing. Well, why would you need to one-shot someone just for the weapon to be good? That's a bit of a high standard. True, But
Well, you
keep
only
in
get one
mind
of
that
them, right?
not only does this weapon not have random critical hits, which are unfortunately still a staple in pubs that grant any class the ability to one-shot anything shy of a soldier in heavy by clicking on them with their melee, even if it completely invalidates their biggest fucking weakness, but also when you consider that the caber breaks after
Random
one
crits are
use,
fun.
meaning afterwards you're stuck with 55 melee damage with no random crits
Yeah.
and a slow swing speed unless you run all the way back to the resupply cabinet or die
And-
trying. It also has a
Oh.
very slow deploy speed, meaning that even as a last resort to
How
deal
long
a
does it take
little
to-
extra damage
Okay,
to
yeah,
an
it takes a
up-close
while.
target, it totally fails since Demo is already vulnerable to getting rushed
Wow,
down easily.
all that time you
Why
couldn't
even
pull it
bother
out.
bringing out this thing when you
Context.
can take your chances in killing whoever is giving you the business with a couple of pipes? Or better yet,
business.
if you're using a melee option, just throw all your chips in and go for a random crit that won't deal self-damage.
This thing.
The caber deals so
I'm
much
curious to
damage
see what
you
he's going
that
to
even
say,
if you do
how to
actually
use
manage
this
to
thing.
hit your target, if they know you exist and have been damaging you, you're dead anyway from self-damage. Not to
Yeah.
mention, it launches you in the air when you blow it up, meaning it could
Does it
slow you
really?
down when you're trying to
It
escape
does.
and lead to your death even if you do manage to survive the explosion. Its utility as a meme weapon to terrorize snipers is invalidated because it can't even one-shot them,
Yeah, it
leaving
can't
the
one-shot
loose cannon
snipers.
as a better option for that since at least double dogs can one-shot light classes, and its utility as an actual melee weapon for regular use is invalidated because
Hey, here's
it's
a spy.
too slow and too
Actually, I killed
risky
him.
for a measly 23 extra damage at best over a pipe grenade, and you only get to use it one
That's
time.
it?
So why even
It does
bother with
20
this thing? What can you possibly do with it that makes it even remotely fun to use?
I-
Well, luckily for
well, I
me,
mean, it'd
half
be
of my
fun.
job has already been done for me. A user by the name of
Use it as a demo
Toofy, who
night.
has a lot more experience than me in playing Demo Man and also making better videos than me, has made an excellent video talking about the caber, its strengths and weaknesses, and the only good way to use it. I highly recommend watching his video because his channel is better
Okay.
than mine. Anyway, to summarize
God.
this video, if sticky
Your
jumping and
channel's
regular
great,
melee
Fishstick.
use aren't options, the only thing left
Just
is
stand there and look
Caber
at it.
Knight.
Caber Knight. Maybe I should try this. I love Demo Knight. It's my
By
most
equipping
played
a
character.
shield, you gain the ability to get a guaranteed critical strike with the caber.
Oh, they're invisible?
And
Nice.
this is incredibly powerful. If you manage to land the critical on a heavy, you can one-shot him with a whopping 350 damage hit that deals anywhere from 150 to 180 damage to anyone too close
They're
to him.
chasing him.
This works best in areas where large groups of enemies are likely to clump up together, such as the control point, a dispenser, or the payload card. Obviously,
Yeah,
this
so you
still
can get
has its
multiple damage.
downsides.
Jesus,
For
that's
starters,
a double kill.
The sweet spot you have to hit in order to crit someone is very precise, and it won't even mini crit with shield charges for some inexplicable
Wait, I thought it
reason.
gave-
I don't
gave
know
no
if this
crits.
is a bug or intentional, but what I do know is a bug is that often the caber
Maybe
won't
it's
even
just on
damage
direct
enemies
hits?
at all. It'll show the blown up model as if you did actually hit someone, but hitting someone again will show you that no, it's perfectly fine. It's kind of like when
Oh.
you clearly headshot someone
Like
to the
happened
point
to
of seeing
Solar Light,
blood
who
on
knows
their
what Demo
face,
made, but
but
it
you
probably
still
fell.
do 0
That's true.
damage. I fucking hate this when it happens, and it happens all the goddamn time.
I love
By
Solar
playing
Light.
Caber Knight,
He's so
you
good.
turn yourself into an unreliable suicide bomber. Even if you do manage to get a
the worst
disgusting
kind.
crit on a large group of enemies, you'll still be left with a neutered melee weapon at the end of it, and you'll be missing a good
Maybe it's
chunk
not a
of
random
health
crit.
to
Oh,
boot.
it's because he's
So what's
charging.
the best way
My
we
bad.
can mitigate the weaknesses of the set and make it as effective as possible?
That's-
Well, despite how
Ow.
restricting the Caber Knight style seems on paper, you actually
Yeah,
have a
exactly.
good amount of variety in your primary and secondary slots between the 4 grenade launchers, the boots, and the 3 shields. If you want to use boots, you're dedicating yourself to going full Caber Knight. This has the upside of a
Yes.
slight speed boost, 25 more health, increased mobility, and an increase
Oh,
in your
he
charge upon
actually did
killing an
that.
enemy. This is good for more defensive
there's a shield.
holds, as you'll be able to kill someone, very likely survive the attack, then run back a little bit faster thanks to the speed boost and slight
Yeah.
shield recharge. Plus, with
You-
the
it gives
extra
you
ability of
options.
the boots, you'll be able to
Speed
hit your
kills.
targets much easier if they try to get out of your way. If you want to see this loadout used to its fullest effect, Solar Light made a short video where he goes on a ridiculous 30 kill streak with it. However, in
Wait,
offensive
really?
situations,
I
you
might
lack
watch that
the
video
ability
next. It
to
might be out
deal
on Sunday.
sentries, and you're left relatively defenseless once your caber is gone until your charge comes back, which is where my favorite choice
What?
comes in. Hybrid
I need a
Caber
video to
Knight
react to
with a
for
grenade
Sunday, so
launcher.
that might be
The two
it.
that stand out the most are the Iron Bomber and the Loose Cannon, both for the same reason:
Interesting.
mobility. If you don't have your charge, you're a slow and easy target, and without stickies,
Yeah,
you won't be able to
speed
reach certain
kills.
flank routes that other demos can. which is important as your enemies being unaware of you makes getting picks easier and gives you a larger window to pick the perfect moment to strike.
It seems like a lot of fun.
With predictable grenades, you can
honestly seems like something I would enjoy.
And the loose cannon has a similar yet more extreme function. The loose cannon is more useful in its mobility utility for covering long distances with its cannon jump.
Well, I didn't know
which is useful if your spawn point is far away, but you still want to get your caber back quickly without dying. Keep in mind, cannon jumping is not that easy. And if you're not careful, you can get yourself killed doing it and just wasting time, so make sure you practice
like that.
The lock and load and stock grenade launcher are also decent choices, but the Iron Bomber is definitely go-to as it hits a perfect balance of an offensive tool that's great for dealing with sentries and players who manage to close the distance on you, and a mobility tool that lets you flank easier.
It has a
it also works great as an escape tool once you do charge into a crowd, as the caber will launch you skywards, giving you a high ground against your opponents to lob some grenades at them as you fly backwards away from danger. Also, the grenades are just objectively easier to aim because their hitbox is fucking massive compared to the other grenades.
Oh my god.
I don't know if that's
they are. Why?
For any grenade launcher, one of the best strategies is to lob a grenade or two at the group you're going to charge at to soften them up. That way, even if your caber doesn't crit, which it probably won't, you'll still likely get a kill or two and do some serious damage. Keep in mind, if you're using the loose cannon, your cannons may actually fling enemies well out of your range.
I feel like I need to watch Demo Night use it.
So
I
you won't
love
be able to pick them off.
Solar Light.
You kind of want to play as a sort of grenades-only demo for a while. You have your pipes, you have your shield in case you need to make a getaway, but you also have a secret weapon. The fuck this guy in particular stick.
Exactly.
As for the shield, they all have their upsides and drawbacks. The Tide Turner, I'd say, is the weakest, which is unfortunate, as if the caber would just mini-crit on shield charges, I could see it being a lot better. You get decent resistances, you get most of your charge back after a kill, and you get absolutely insane mobility and the ability to pick out your targets much easier.
I'll probably
but it's
stream
all
this
at the cost of damage. The entire strength of the Caber Knight set is to give yourself a massive guaranteed critical explosion that can wipe out an entire control point of people if you're lucky. And the Tide Turner only lets you target lower health enemies. It's really only good for closing the gap on already weakened enemies rather than dealing insane damage. And even with the caber being destroyed, a crit from a charge will still do 165 damage, still enough to one-shot medics and snipers. You will be able to get back to spawn much more often and much more quickly if you do manage to kill someone though, which is definitely a big bonus. The Charge and Targe gives you the best resistances and guaranteed crits, but the Shield Bash just doesn't do that much damage. The Splendid Screen has the lowest resistances, but the strongest Shield Bash while recharging a lot faster, and can actually be considered a legitimate secondary weapon to use against people without having to use up your caber. However, a hidden downside for the Caber Knight loadout is that because the Splendid Screen can boop your enemies, it can actually launch them out of your effective range. And since the caber lacks the extra melee range of the swords, there's not much you can do if this happens except go to your grenade launcher. Your counters will be standard Demo Knight counters. Sentries for full Caber Knight and pyros who air blast you especially. Although I would say to a certain extent, heavies are the major exception, and they're actually a valid target due to your ability to one-shot them, unlike with regular Demo Knight loadouts. Unless they're using Natasha to kill your momentum before you reach them, they're one of the easiest enemies to hit. Because if you use the grenade launchers, or if you're not using the Tide Turner, you'll effectively be running in a straight line. You need to make sure you're not only the proper distance to get the crit just right, but also that you'll be able to hit your target at all. And revved up heavies are perfect for this, even if they're being overhealed. Once the caber launches you backwards, you can just fling a pipe or two his way and he's toast. Though you want to make sure your timing is right, as if the heavy is focusing you down before your charge even starts,
it's a weapon that you need a lot of skill to pull off, that's for sure.
If you want to make sure you get him, you can ask your medics on your team to buff you before you go in for a charge. You'll want to play on maps that facilitate this kind of playstyle. The more choke heavy, the better, since it gives your enemies less options for escape. It's also a good idea to avoid maps with high amounts of verticality if you're going full Caber Knight, since you won't be able to deal with enemies that have the high ground. So maps like Frontier are not so great for this set. Frontier especially since the train can block your line of sight on potential targets.
I don't think I played Frontier because I don't remember that train.
A large group of enemies. The spawn is also ridiculously high up, which makes it a pain in the ass to get back to if you want to get your caber back. Playing on offense and defense have their benefits and downsides too. Offense essentially forces you to run a grenade launcher since there are so many sentries and pubs.
It's not good.
It's usually a very short walk back to the resupply cabinet, and your respawn time is a lot shorter if you do end up dying. Defense on certain maps, payload especially, can not only set your spawn
Whoa.
point extremely far back, but also in difficult to reach places. Though you'll usually have teleporters up to get to the front lines much more
Yeah.
often if you
So do you
die.
have?
However,
Can you
this
not
is
pick up
highly
ammo off the
dependent on
ground?
the map and game mode, though. For
Do you
example,
are there
Gorge
certain
on
ammos you
offense is
can't
a
get from
terrible
boxes
idea
on the
for the
ground?
set in general, as you can't reach the resupply cabinet at all without a cannon jump once you cap the first point. And Dust Bowl on defense
Really?
is right outside the resupply cabinet. Once you find that perfect map, though, with the best choke points that you can run straight into your enemies with,
Jesus
man, there's
Christ.
nothing else like
That
it.
is insane.
If you want to use the caber these days, this is
already used that
without
clip, I'm pretty
question
sure.
the best way to do it.
Yeah, you did.
Is this the most effective way to play Demo Man?
No,
No.
use that clip as
Will
well.
it get you killed a lot?
Yes.
Will the caber sometimes fuck you over by not even exploding at all?
Yes.
Undoubtedly. Is this also really fucking fun?
Yes.
Hell yes it is.
This is
Playing
why I want to
Caber
do
Knight for
it.
this
I'm
video
not
has
good at
awoken
it, but
the
I
inner
just enjoy it.
teenager in me from years ago when I first started playing TF2. It just unlocks this absolutely giddy delight upon fucking deleting someone
my
with this
God.
utterly stupid weapon. This
Yeah.
strategy is embodied by 2 words.
I gotta try this.
Dumb,
I have to.
fun. When it works, it's kind of like the babyface in that you get into a good rhythm. But unlike the babyface, when it doesn't work, it makes you want
Yeah.
to rip your hair out and bash your skull against a brick wall, because it's not necessarily
Babyface
the
makes you
weapon's
slow, though.
stats that are fucking you over, but more its absolute refusal to fucking explode properly or actually crit.
Why?
When you
Why
get
hasn't that
that
been fixed?
350 damage nuke, it's a thing of
Oh my God!
beauty,
On
and nothing
3
else in the game
people?
really comes close to giving you that feeling. Now,
It bounces.
how do we bring the caber back to its former glory? Easy answer. Just fucking...
Make sure
Just
it
let
works.
us one-shot light classes again, man. Please. Look, I'm a sniper main, and I want it to be a sniper terrorizer again.
Oh,
Come
I
on,
didn't know he was a
it's
sniper
fine.
man, actually.
I'm vouching for the demos for once. I don't do this often, so don't get used to it. Beyond that, being able to one-shot light classes gives it the ability to be a major scout and spy deterrent. Classes
Yeah,
that demos have to deal with
bounces.
often, which gives it a little bit of utility
Boom.
even outside of meme strategies. I'd also give it a recharge meter that can be refilled quicker with ammo packs, but not dispensers. That might be a little bit too good.
Yeah, no,
But
yeah, no.
If snipers can refill a jar of pee in a few seconds, if Scout can materialize baseballs, cleavers, and Christmas baubles into
You
existence,
should be able to get a grenade
and
back.
if Heavy can do what I'm only assuming is regurgitating his sandwich after eating it and then eating it again, then I think
Oh.
Demo can fix his caper with a little bit of time. I know
Yeah.
he's not that drunk. Then just fix the issue where it doesn't explode even when it hits someone and let me festivize it, and we'll have our baby back.
What is it with his
The caber is in a
Festivize?
really sad state right now, and
It
it,
looks
has been for
fun,
a while.
though.
But that doesn't mean we can't have
You
some
play games to
with
have
it.
fun,
For the
okay?
time being, we'll go out there and hit those heavies with some high-yield Scottish face removal and tell them
Face removal? That's great. That's really good, actually. That thing's actually fun. I might actually go watch that video by Solar Light right now. Boom. But please don't put me in the video. You put him in the video. Oh god, next one's gonna be the red tape recorder, and then there's another video about him doing it wrong. I guess I'll do both of those together. Yeah, he said follow up. I don't know. I'll probably do both of those next week, or maybe it'll be 2 weeks. People told me I should probably stretch these out like every other week. I might do that, just so I can fit something else in this spot. I just finished up with the comics. Those are on my channel. For some reason, the 6th one got age restricted. That's so weird. Thanks to YouTube for being great. It's not only like you deleted my channel or anything and robbed me of money and that I had already earned, and you know, deleted my channel and never told me why. Never responded to my lawyer, and also just gonna, you know, have terrible copyright stuff. But yeah, that's just absolutely great. But I hope you've been enjoying these videos. Definitely let me know if you enjoy the Ullapool caber in the comment section, because I'll read every comment. And stay tuned for Sunday's video. I'm not sure what it's going to be. It might be that video on the Ullapool caber by Solar Light. But I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed the video. But until next one, take care and cue the music.
We were playing as soldiers, making soldiers.